The city of Greensboro continues to grow. Each year, the city invests significantly in new construction projects and repair or replacement of aging infrastructure. Greensboro Under Construction will focus on projects that are underway across the city and in your neighborhood. The city has been moving forward with its 2020 road resurfacing project. Recently, the outbound lanes of Spring Garden Street and inbound lanes of Edgeworth Street have been resurfaced with some additional changes to lane structure.
We are at the intersection of Spring and Lindsay Street, and what you see behind me here is part of the 2020 resurfacing project that we have. We do a resurfacing project every year. This year in particular, we are doing some of the larger streets downtown. So we are resurfacing Spring Street as it goes outbound and Edgeworth as it comes into the city. One thing we've been able to take advantage of with this year is due to COVID-19 and the reduction of traffic through the stay-at-home order is that we moved up the downtown streets to take advantage of the difference in volume. And so that's allowed us to get this done quickly, and hopefully once everybody gets back to more of a normal traffic volume, these streets will be done and we'll be able to move on to some of the smaller side streets that won't have as much impact to as many people. The biggest change is that we are going to be having a reduction of lanes. So it used to be 3 lanes each side. Now we're going to have 2 lanes and a bike lane. So that's kind of the biggest change, and just want motorists to be aware of now that there is a lane specifically designated to bikes, and to be aware that there may be increased bike traffic.
The city of Greensboro invests in safe and affordable housing. The city uses local, state, and federal funds to invest in affordable housing production, homeowner rehabilitation, lead paint remediation, and down payment assistance programs. In 2016, Greensboro voters approved $25 million in housing bonds for the production and preservation of affordable housing. The city's neighborhood development department is investing those bond dollars throughout Greensboro to build a better community. So far, the city has used the housing bonds to finance 856 units in Greensboro, which includes 393 multifamily units and 415 first-time home buyers. Today, we're visiting the site of the Printworks Lofts, a large-scale rehabilitation of a distressed historic mill into 217 apartments. This project was made possible by investing $1.2 million in housing bonds to leverage over $50 million in other project funds. You'll get a sneak peek of the site's amazing transformation and learn what you can expect as this project moves forward.
This is the Printworks Mill, and the building is named after its historic use. Very similar to Revolution Mill, which is just down the street from us. We began the work in June of 2018. Well, the project is possible because of a myriad of different partners. The city of Greensboro has been a great partner, assisting us with their housing bonds. There's a combination of low-income housing tax credits and federal historic tax credits. In addition to that, the state has allocated historic credits as well for the project. That made the financing possible for the project. We worked with Affordable Housing Partners, Foss Company. The city of Greensboro has been a great partner, and the Alexander Company has worked with Borman Wade as our engineer, Plagman Architects as our architect, and ECS on the environmental. But all the professionals and all the individuals from those companies and civic organizations really came together to try to find a way to make this work. Everybody just had a can-do attitude from the beginning. Everybody saw the vision and said, let's rally the troops and get it done.
This project is only possible because of a public-private partnership, including the city of Greensboro, Guilford County, and then a whole host of private sector investors that support workforce housing and adaptive reuse of historic buildings.
It's impacting the neighborhood in a very positive way, in fact a number of positive ways. One is that this was a source of blight within the neighborhood. It also created an impediment between the village at north side and Revolution Mill, which has gone through an extraordinary transformation. So by redeveloping this property, we're eliminating the blight, eliminating the safety issues that were associated with the abandoned buildings and site. We're creating connections between Village at the North Side and Revolution Mill. So there'll be greenway trail connections. There'll be sidewalks added along Fairview Street. We dedicated the greenway space along Buffalo Creek to the city, as well as a great deal of open space that'll be available for not only the residents of this building, but also people in the community to use. So the entire community is going to benefit from the safety and security and the connectivity that this project affords.
Well, beyond just the historic features of exposed brick and high ceilings and wood floors, we have a whole host of community spaces, including a pool, community room, a tech space, a maker space. So there's lots of opportunities for people to gather, make friends, have their friends over. So it'll be a really well-knit community.
This property is going to offer quite a few amenities. The apartments themselves, you can see they're very large, industrial. You'll see large expanses of glass. And there's a number of different unit styles. So we have what we call flat style apartments, which are everything's on one level, including the bedrooms and the living space. We have a lot of townhouse type units. We have a variety of finishes. Some units will have exposed polished concrete floors. Other units will have hardwood floors and carpeting. Many of the units here will have balconies, private balconies that they can use. And there's interior parking for most of the residents so that they'll be able to park within the building, have the safety and security and the climate control interior parking, and be able to walk right to their unit from their parking space. In the units themselves, we have washers and dryers in the units that are provided by the landlord. So there's going to be all kinds of amenities here for people to use.
This will be a mixed income project, so it'll be an opportunity for folks from all walks of life to move into this neighborhood, take advantage of proximity to other new developments, and never be priced out of the neighborhood that they have loved living in for a long time.
I have the philosophy of not wanting to put people in a box, and I think this property, given the unique apartments, everyone's going to want to live here. In fact, we've already have 230 people on the waiting list for the 217 apartments. But when you provide a really unique product, everyone wants to live here, whether it's affordable or market rate, and there's going to be a place for everyone.
We anticipate bringing our first units on in phases starting this July through the end of the year.
If you go to the Alexander Company's website, www.alexandercompany.com, we have links to each of our projects there. There's a website specifically for this project, and there's a Contact Us tab that you can go on to be able to get more information and get your name on a waiting list.
For more information on neighborhood development projects, programs, and opportunities, visit greensboro-nc.gov/ND and follow us on Facebook at GSO Neighborhood Development. Work on Phase 2 of the Downtown Greenway continues from Gate City Boulevard along Murrow Boulevard and Fisher Avenue to Green Street. Work on the Greenway in this phase includes waterline upgrades along Fisher Avenue, bike lanes along Gate City Boulevard, and mast arms for traffic signals along this corridor. Construction began in April of 2019 and is progressing on schedule. The city is constructing a 950-space public parking deck just south of the baseball park with street access from both Eugene Street and Belmead Street. This deck will support existing and projected parking demand in the northwest portion of the downtown area. With the construction of the Hyatt Place Hotel and the planned office complex known as Project Slugger, growth and associated parking demand are increasing in this area. Foundations for the Eugene Street parking deck are finished. Vertical construction of the precast concrete deck has begun and is approximately 40% complete. Greensboro's Department of Transportation has installed solar-powered electrical vehicle charging stations in the parking lot at 305 West Washington Street. Stations were made possible with the help of a Clean Fuel Advanced Technology grant from the North Carolina State University's North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center.
Well, these are fully solar-powered charging stations produced by Envision Solar. They are 100% solar charged, so they are completely off the grid. We thought these would be a good way to add to our EV charging infrastructure here in the city. We currently have charging stations in the Green Street parking deck as well as the Elm McGee parking lot, and just thought this would be a nice addition. The solar-powered charging stations do sit in metered spots, so if you come down to charge your car, you will need to feed the meter if it's during normal operating hours. However, there is no charge to plug into the charging stations. The stations are on the ChargePoint network, so you can activate them using your ChargePoint charging card, or you download the ChargePoint app and use that to activate the machine.
Construction of new city sidewalks is an ongoing project to improve pedestrian safety and enhance new alternative modes of transportation. Here's a quick look at current and upcoming project locations to be aware of. In 2004, the city established former water and sewer rehabilitation programs to address our aging sewer and water distribution systems. The water distribution system consists of about 1,500 miles of water lines within the Greensboro city limits. The wastewater or sewer system, which is a completely different system, consists of about 1,400 miles of sewer lines within Greensboro city limits. The goal is to tackle 1% of each system a year. Many factors are considered in determining locations for sewer rehabilitation. These include inflow and infiltration, which is excess stormwater or groundwater coming into the sewer system, sewer capacities, age and material of the line, maintenance history, and road surfacing priorities. Sewer evaluations often have several steps that include installing flow monitors into manholes to identify areas where there is inflow and infiltration, conducting smoke tests to identify where inflow and infiltration is coming from, running closed-circuit television cameras through pipes to determine what condition they are in. If work is being done in your neighborhood, you will see door hangers letting you know testing or work will be taking place. Door hangers will be used 2 weeks before work begins, and again 48 hours prior to the start of the work. Water Resources Department staff consider many factors when determining the priority of water line rehabilitation. These include the age and material of the line, fire hydrant flow capacity, existing water quality issues, water main break history, and road resurfacing priorities. Unless it's an emergency, door hangers will be placed at least 24 hours in advance anytime service is interrupted for an extended period of time. That notice will also include an estimate of how long the interruption may last. If at any time your water and/or sewer service is off for more than 30 minutes and you've not been notified about any disruption by a contractor or city employee, please call the city water dispatcher at 336-373-2033. If you are placed on temporary water, there is no charge for water use until your regular service is returned. Your water service will be disrupted for less than 10 minutes when a temporary line is connected and disconnected. For more information, visit the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov/rehab. Use the Departments tab to navigate to Water Resources and look for the Water and Sewer Rehabilitation tab on the left. Here you can find more information on the different methods used for rehab in each system and access a map that will show you where work is in progress and where it is proposed for each system. These are just a selection of the many projects taking place across our growing city. Look for the next Greensboro under construction to bring updates on current projects and new construction as Greensboro moves forward.